posted from mail to Flickr and we stopped. What we've added now is we had a Twitter updater and a little post to talk to Twitter and post the URL from Flickr into Twitter. We made an email go to Flickr, and then from that email we went to Twitter. But if you know much about Twitter, you notice that this is a really long URL. You only have 140 characters to talk in Twitter, so you want to maximize that space. What we're going to do here is we're going to try to reduce this. Instead of having a big long post URL, we're going to use a much shorter one. So we'll close that up and we'll close. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this out. Notice that when I click on the little plus, a little scissor icon appears. So we want to do that. You're going to remove that. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the bit.ly URL shortener module. I'm going to put it up here. Notice there's also a tiny URL down here. And I believe this might also be a URL shortener, as well as some of these other ones here. But we're going to use bit.ly. That's one of my favorites. So we're going to grab the picture URL and give it to bit.ly. And then go to short URL, and that's what we're going to post to Twitter. Okay. We could also get a little fancy here. And let's do this. Instead of using the text input, the title is going to be a text formatter. And what this is going to do is we're going to combine two things into the Twitter update. And we're going to say we want a text input here that we will say new photo, and we put a space. This will be going to text number 1. For text number 2, we're going to use the same as we use for the title, which comes from the subject of the mail decoder, and it became the title of the Flickr picture. Now we're going to use that same thing and turn it into text number 2 on the text formatter. What that's going to do is the next tweet that gets posted is going to be posted with this, and then following new photo will be text number 2, which is the subject. And that's the title we're going to put on Twitter. Okay? Don't forget to save your workflow. And let's test it again one more time with Flickr and another photo. In this case, let's take a look at this delicious salad that I have posted here. That's Tarpipe number 1. So after we saved it, we're going to paste our email address. And here's a tip as well. You can go to your contacts and add, for example, this contact as somebody. We're going to call it photo post. And the email address will be that. Or we can name it whatever you want. Photo post. We're going to save it. And when you go to compose an email, you can just send it to photo post. And now you know that this is the post that posts your photo to Flickr and Twitter. And this time we're going to call it mango salad, because that's what it was. It was delicious. And we're going to attach it and say open. And we're going to send that. Now let's see what happens when that goes through. Remember the first time when we looked at activity on the last email we sent, we were able to publish a photo to Flickr, but we got this URL, and then we took this URL, which is really long, and we posted it to Twitter. And notice how it's really long and ugly. And we also posted a message that was different than the title of the water fountain. So we decided to make it a little better by going to cut that in between here, and instead of posting the picture address directly to Twitter, we ran it through a filter in bit.ly. We also added a little bit more customizable text option where we just say it's a new photo, or we post new photo, and we grab mail decoder subject and we post it into text, which then becomes the title. So let's see how that worked. If we go back to activity, we're going to see that a new email arrived. The photo was published. The photo was published to Twitter. And let's take a look at that link first. You can see that it's right here. And you have all available sizes, including the biggest one that you posted. So, okay. We also see that we transformed the URL to a bit.ly URL, which is this one. And if we click on it, we will see that we get to the same address. Lastly, we posted a message on Twitter that said, new photo, mango salad. And here's the update. If we go to it, we're going to see that this is a lot better and clean. New photo, mango salad. And there's the bit.ly URL that we saw earlier right here. And that is how you complete a simple post to Flickr and Twitter Tarpipe.